We are glad to see you again on our channel, and today we have a film review where Aaron, the canyon conqueror and explorer, falls into a death trap. 127 hours he is without food, water, and help. The film is about strength of character and moral strength of spirit. The film is about salvation. Aaron is going camping for the weekend. He folds water, food, climbing equipment.
Hey, Aaron here. Leave a message.
Hey Aaron, Sonia here, again. I know that you're probably going to be away this weekend, but listen, just think about what we're going to play, please, because we have to decide and we need to practice, okay? Anyway, it will be fun, I promise. And, oh, please call Mom, please, because she worries, which you know already. Okay, later, A, bye!
His phone rings, and on the answering machine, girl Sonia leaves a message telling him to think about a new repertoire and rehearse it. Aaron is a member of an amateur music group. Sonia also asks him to call his mother because she is worried. Aaron takes a folding knife and leaves the apartment. He gets in the car and goes away. On the way, he turns on the camera and records a video in which he says that today is April 25, 2003. The guy says that he is entering the canyon. Soon he stops, drowns the car, and goes to bed in it. Saturday morning. Aaron's cycling on the road. The wasteland is around. He's going full speed. The guy says on camera that the guidebook says that it usually takes 4.5 hours before the big slide, and he gets 45 minutes faster. Aaron fixes the camera on the bike handlebar and starts. He jumps the slides, makes various maneuvers, but stumbles and falls with the bike down. Laughs, takes a selfie, then gets back on the bike and keeps going. Soon, Aaron leaves the bike, snacks, and then walks. He climbs the mountain and sees two girls who are apparently tourists and are lost. Aaron asks them if they are going to Blue John and is told that the girls are looking for the dome and they are lost. Aaron descends from the slide to them and on the map shows the girls their location, as well as the location of the dome. He also says he can take them there. The guy takes off the bandage and glasses and jokes that he apparently looked like a killer. Aaron gets acquainted with them and learns that the girls are called Christy and Megan. They are best friends. The boy again offers his help, and the girls agree on it. On the way, Aaron reveals that the canyon is his second home, and that he was riding his bike for 34 kilometers. Aaron leads the girls to the fork and says that the guidebook says that the passage is here, but he knows the better place. He agitates the girls to follow his route, promising that it will be cool and they will definitely remember it. The girls agree to the proposal. Aaron leads the girls into a cleft where they move, one side against the other and the other side with their legs. The guy says that he is not a guide at all, but an engineer. Aaron pronounces, "Remember, everything will be fine," and breaks down, falling into the water. Christy and Megan shout to him, asking him if he is alive. Aaron comes up and sings the song. He shouts the girls to trust him. Christy says that she will kill him, to which her friend replies, "Come on, you like it." Christy gains courage and jumps too. After her jumps and Megan. Girls like to jump, and they do it a few more times, screaming with pleasure. After a while, they move on. Aaron tells the girls that the canyon is named after a cook from the Butch Cassidy gang who hid in the rocks here. They chased here wild horses trapped at the end of the canyon. Aaron takes a photo together on his camera and asks the girls if he will see them again. The girls invite him to their party tomorrow. They explain that he needs to walk 30 kilometers from Green River. There will be a motel with a huge Scooby-Doo. Aaron promises to come, and they say goodbye. Megan asks a friend if he will come, to which Christy says, "I think he has already forgotten us." Girlfriend laughs and says that she liked him. Aaron, with loud music headphones, goes further down the canyon. Along the way, he takes a lot of pictures of various landscapes and just everything that he sees. The guy climbs into another gorge. First, he puts his foot on the rock, then leans against the wall and puts his hands on the stone, but the one as it turned out, stands unstable. Aaron falls down along with this stone and is squeezed between the walls at the very bottom of the gorge. From this moment, the countdown begins, 127 hours. His headphones fall, the music continues to play there. He looks at his hand, which is pressed by a rock between it and the wall. Looking up, realizing that he is at the bottom. Aaron tries to get out. He tries to lift the stone, pull the hand out of the trap, climb under and so on, but all is useless. Aaron uses his teeth to tighten his watch with his free hand, starts screaming, trying to call Christy and Megan. Naturally, no one can hear him. Aaron tells himself, think, and begins to get everything that is in the backpack, laying the contents on the stone. He takes out his headphones, his watch, his water, his flashlight, his dull folding knife, his camera, and everything, and starts thinking about what to do with it. Using a knife, the guy tries to knock out the stone, but it is hard and ineffective. Then the knife slips out of his hands, and Aaron cannot lift it. After a while, he still pulls it out with a branch that he clamps with his toes. The night of this day, Aaron feels that it is getting very cold. He keeps trying to knock the stone out with a knife, now using the rope to keep the knife from falling. Sunday. Aaron drinks water from a flask quite a bit, saves stock. The guy remembers seeing a big boulder in the canyon and not knowing how he got there. Aaron applies his knowledge of the engineer and throws the slings up, clutching the stone and fixing them there. Morning. Aaron watches the kite fly by. He sees the light that fills the cave and rejoices that he can warm up. Aaron recalls his father bringing him to meet the dawn as a child. Aaron turns on the camera and records a video in which he says, "It's been 24 hours since he got stuck and can't get out of the cleft canyon."
This marks 24 hours.
He also has a message for his parents, just in case. The guy shows the position he's in, shows the hand stuck between the wall and the rock. He states that the pressed hand has been without circulation for 24 hours, and apparently, it is beyond saving. He says that he has about half a liter of water left, and there is almost no food. Aaron notices that stone dust is beginning to fall from above. He starts shouting and calling for help, hoping that someone is walking there, but there is no one above. Echoes his words. Night comes again. Aaron covers himself with everything he can to stay warm. He thinks that he could have been at the girls' party at this time. He imagines a rubber Scooby-Doo near the motel, people who relax, drink, and have fun. He drinks water, realizing that it is almost over. Then he takes contact lenses out of his eyes, eats them. Aaron recalls that he did not call his mother, but she called and left a message when he left the shower at home. He also recalls that he did not tell anyone exactly where he was going. Not at work, nowhere. Nobody knows that he is here. Monday. Aaron throws ropes on the stone. He thinks that the belt system will help him lift the stone as a lever. He's trying to weigh himself down, but even so, the rock doesn't move at all. Aaron recalls that in his car, on which he arrived, there is a bottle of lemonade. The guy licks and drinks the rest of the water. He turns the camera on again and says that only 8 healthy men can pull him out. He says that he has 150 grams of water left, and that he peed in a bicycle canteen to make something there. Aaron tells that every morning at 9:30, he has 15 minutes of sunlight to warm up.
Every morning at 9:30, I get 15 minutes of sunlight.
And that kite flies exactly at this time. He tries to knock the stone out again with a knife, but it seems that the more he does this, the more the stone sits on his hand. Aaron binds his hand with a tourniquet and tries to cut it off with a knife, but it does not work. The knife does not even cut the skin because it is blunt. Aaron tells the camera that you never need to buy cheap tools. He says he doesn't blame Mom. It was a good Christmas present, and she didn't know Aaron would be in this situation. Aaron remembers filming his sister's piano game in his youth. He says, "Well done, sister." Aaron falls asleep a little. When he wakes up, he drinks water again, drops the canteen, and some of the water pours out. The guy remembers them, hanging out with friends, sitting naked in a car. It was snowing, remembering a girl with whom he had a relationship. Imagines lying with her after sex and talking, and she strokes his body. At this moment, it starts raining in the canyon. Aaron rejoices, fills a bottle with water. Rain becomes a stream, completely fills the crevice. Aaron manages to lift a rock under the water and free his hand. He gets up, runs to the car, goes to the girl to tell her everything. He asks if she still loves him, but she closes the door and doesn't even listen. It was just a dream. He's still at the same spot, at the bottom of the canyon, crushed with a rock. Tuesday morning. Aaron puts the camera opposite him and begins to pretend to participate in the show. He calculates that the search will not begin until Wednesday afternoon, and he may not be alive by that time. He laughs and curls. Aaron then becomes serious and regrets that he did not warn anyone about where he was going. Aaron wants to drink, but the water runs out. He feels pain in his chest, grabs his heart, and to regain consciousness, he stabs himself in the immobilized arm. Then, he pulls out the knife and tastes his blood. Wednesday. Aaron starts drinking his urine. He is disgusted, but there is no way out. He turns on the camera and on rewind finds the day he and the girls went swimming in the cave. He sees that, while he was away, the girls recorded a message to him discussing his musical taste and his lack of a girlfriend. He zooms in and looks at the girls' bodies, gets excited. Aaron then begins to hallucinate. It seems to him that he sees something and hears in the darkness of the cleft. Thursday. Aaron looks at the sky. He remembers that one day his girlfriend dumped him right at the match and told him that he would be alone. Aaron starts talking to his mother, girlfriend, and a cook, about whom he told the girls from the canyon. They all glimpse him, stand, and look. More small stones fall on Aaron and he falls. He sees a little boy, whom he puts around his neck. On the wall of the cave there is an inscription, the name Aaron, the years of his life, and the words, "Peace be with you." Aaron again tries to rip his hand from under the stone and hears a crunch. He jerks his hand through the pain several times, and it crunches again. Aaron senses pain and realizes that a bone breaks in his hand. He uses his smallest knife blade, inserts it into his hand, and starts cutting it. The arm is swollen. Aaron feels severe pain, the hand is bleeding, even despite the tourniquet. The guy almost loses consciousness, but he still keeps cutting and cutting. Finally, he gets it. He leaves his sawed-off hand under the rock and gets free. After a state of shock, Aaron regains as much as possible, realizes that he has succeeded. He is released. The guy binds his hand, comes out of the cleft. He looks at the sun, sees the water, but he still needs to get to it. He finds a place, fixes the rope, and descends. Aaron falls face down into a dirty puddle, greedily drinks from it, then fills the bottle with water. He drinks from the bottle again, doused in water. He gets up and goes to the exit from the wasteland. He sees drawings on the walls of the cave. Aaron loses a lot of blood along the way and already feels that his strength is gone. He already sees birds flying over him in anticipation of his death. Aaron notices a family of tourists nearby. He yells them and calls for help. People run to him, give him water to drink. These tourists lead him to others. Everybody is helping Aaron. A rescue helicopter comes for him. He gets in it and flies away from the canyon. Different shots are shown, how the one-armed Aaron is interviewed, how he swims in the sea. There are many people. He does extreme sports. Aaron's premonition came true. 3 years later, he met his wife and had a son in 2010. Aaron continues to conquer mountains and canyons, but now always leaves a note where he writes his destination. As the film is based on real-life events, the end shows the real Aaron with his wife. This is an American and British film, 127 hours, based on real events. Film director and screenwriter is Danny Boyle.